Hello everyone. In this series of videos, what I will do is that I will watch every single movie of famous directors and I will put them in a tier list, and I'll have a small discussion slash a small critic for the movie based on the experience that I personally had. The first director that I chose is Martin Scorsese because he's one of the directors that I personally admired already, and I liked many of his movies. So I said maybe this series of videos is an opportunity to see all of his movies and judge by myself which one are the best movies and which ones are the worst movies. Let's start with The Irishman. So The Irishman, in my opinion, is should be in the category that could be better. I mean, I liked parts of the movie. Of course, it's nice to watch Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, and Joe Pesci playing together and interact with each other, and many other good performances like Jesse Plemons that I personally also liked in this movie. But apart from that, it was boring in some parts. You cannot see it in one seat. Like, you can do it, but it's quite hard. For me, it was quite hard. It had its moments. The script was nice, but I personally thought that I cannot handle more information about Hoffa. I felt that I knew everything about Hoffa watching this movie, and so much information that I couldn't handle. I don't know. It could be better. Let's be honest. Honestly, this movie was high quality movie. It was very enjoyable. I really liked it. I didn't expect to like it so much. I didn't expect this project to work and be so fun to watch. This movie, while I was watching it, it gave me so much, and I was thinking of this movie later. I really like this movie. The Taxi Driver. I don't want to start being edgy. I think it was high quality movie. I mean, Robert De Niro was so good in this movie, and it's a memorable movie. I would watch it again with friends, of course. The storyline was so unique. I can't imagine that at this point it was a smash to watch 50 years earlier, and it was the baseline for many other movies to think of ideas related to the Taxi Driver. But I mean, it was a very enjoyable movie and high quality movie. But I personally am not a fan of this movie that much. That's what I wanted to say. On the other hand, I actually really like The Departed a lot. I think it's later than The Age of Innocence into the tier list. For me, it's far better than The Taxi Driver, personal opinion. It was so fun to watch, and I felt that 2.5 hours passed like this. The performance, again, it were so good. The story was so interesting. Like, I mean, it's something that you already have seen, of course, but he did it in a way that it was for everyone. You could discuss about this movie. You can watch it many times and never get bored, and see little details and see the performances of Leonardo DiCaprio and the other protagonists. And it was a very good movie, very good. The Temptation of Christ. For sure, it doesn't deserve the hate that it received back in the days. The performance was very good, and I hope that they will cooperate again in the future. Martin Scorsese and William Dafoe in some project. Their cooperation was so good. Uh, it's another story for another video to discuss the storyline and if actually affect a person watching this, like the beliefs of the person. Let's stay again just for the movie. I think it was a solid movie. The costumes and the settings were very good, but apart from that, it was very good. It was very good. Let's stay here. So, Bring Out the Dead, I liked so much this movie. It's one of the movies that I watched it, and I was so full when it finished. It had everything. The very interesting storyline that the script was so unique. I mean, probably there you can see, I saw some similar scripts in the movies and like or specific storylines that they were in like TV show, but this movie depicted this story of a paramedic so good, and Nicolas Cage gave everything in this performance. And I also saw that this is one of the movies that he liked the most playing in, and he enjoyed the most. So probably the cooperation with Martin Scorsese, it was very good for him. So the next one, Bobcat Bertha. I mean, I don't know what to say for this movie. It was good, nothing memorable. You will forget about this movie quickly. It was interesting, but nothing more. Hugo. That was a passionate project for Scorsese. You could feel it. You could feel it when you were watching it, and it was so cute watching these two actors playing. Both of them, I actually admire them very much. Now they're older and they're playing to different projects. Yeah, they were very good, and I think Martin Scorsese was the reason that they were good. I don't want to stay more in this movie. I think that you could watch it. It was solid, but I think it could be better. Fight me, but I think it could be far better. But it had passion in it, and I think Scorsese really liked this project. Yeah, Wolf of Wall Street. Yeah, it should be here. I mean, it's not the movie that I would like the Taxi Driver, but you have to admit that it was very good. Like everything there was good. The ecosystem inside the movie was perfect. If someone asked me to watch The Wolf of Wall Street, I would say, yeah, for sure. But you have to do it with company, with friends. That's for sure. I believe it. It was very fun to watch. You will remember some of the things in the movie, that how fun it was, how fascinating story it was. But apart from that, I don't think it will give you something more. Silence, it was a solid movie. It had its flaws, but honestly, it was a project that I personally felt that Martin Scorsese was so fascinated to create. It's very nice to see, very nice to observe the little details that he added, and it was quite obvious that it was a project that he liked so much to create and he wanted so much to create. It started from the Last Temptation of Christ and some other movie that we'll see later, and they escalated to this one, to Silence. And it had its flaws. It was so powerful movie. It was powerful movie. I think I would put it the first one here, but it was high quality. No, but I think for this project it doesn't matter. He liked it so much, and you could see it on screen. Alice doesn't live here anymore. I liked it so much. It's an interesting movie. More than Bringing Out the Dead, it was better. It was better in my opinion. Very good. This movie. I think 50 years earlier, it would be so provocative in some ways, and that I admire. And I like that there are movies like this one in general. I like that this movie was created, and especially at the point that was created, and it was also a good movie. It was solid. It can be better, but I'm not staying at this at the flaws, and that's why it's in this category. King of Comedy. King of Comedy. For sure is over these movies for me. I don't know if it is a masterpiece. So hard. This is the movie that I felt a fulcrum. Says I felt in this movie he did some things that he didn't do in his previous movies, and the story was so great. I really like this movie. I really like. I don't know if it will be a masterpiece because he in this category you have to put really the movies that they were perfect. I I don't know. I don't want to be harsh. Let's put it here for now, and maybe I'll change my mind in the end. Mean Streets. This movie had its flaws. That's the truth. I think no one can dispute it, but it's the only movie I think from all these that I still remember, and it had something. It had a wit. It was so memorable. It had its moments, and I still think of some quotes, and I still think of some performances, how people interact with each other. In the beginning, I was just thinking it will be here, but honestly, for me, I don't know how to elaborate more. I just remember this movie and impacted me while I was watching it. It had many, many great things in it. I will put it here. Yeah. I'm not sure yet, but I'll put it there. I think it was very good. If one of his movies deserves to be there, I think it's The Main Street. Because for me, a movie having flaws, that's not the point. All the movies will have flaws. Something in the script, something that, like, in the technical aspect, in the performances, I don't know. This movie had its flaws, but the heart of this movie, it really affected me. I want it to be there. On the other hand, Kundun, no, I'm sorry. You should be here. Had some really good moments, but apart from that, no. No, no, no. Nothing more. Gangs of New York. How it reminds me of The Irishman. Like everything was there. The script, the performances, like everything, the costumes, the passion. But something didn't work, in my opinion. Like I cannot, I cannot say what exactly didn't work, but I think yeah, it should be here. It should be here. I cannot determine exactly what I didn't like in this movie, but the overall result was kind of mediocre. I don't know if you agree with this opinion, but I that's what I felt. The Color of Money. It should be here. It should be here. It's so solid movie. Paul Newman was so, like, you wanted to watch him playing. Tom Cruise was so fun again. It was one of his first really good performances, and he gave many things. And he knew that he was cooperating with a director that had feel it in on screen. You have to watch this movie. It had things to give. I think it should be here. I don't know if I will change it later to put it more and more in the solid category, but for now it's there. Casino. In the beginning I was thinking that Casino should be here, but honestly I think it should be. Uh, something into this movie was so great. Like, except from the performances, like the whole universe inside this movie was so magical. It had something that you didn't like to watch, but you also like to watch. I don't know how to determine. You just felt that you're inside this universe while watching it. It's not something that you will change your world watching it, but while you're doing it, it's perfect. You're getting inside from the first scene until the last, and you feel that you live in this world. Actually, that's what I felt. Actually, it's more than these two for sure. I'll put it there for now. Cape Fear, solid movie. You have to watch it. Some technical aspect could be better. Robert De Niro was amazing. Was amazing. Very good. I cannot remember the name of the other protagonist. Sorry, but he was also great, and also the daughter and his wife was so good. Very nice, very nice. Goodfellas. Come on, it has to be here. It has to be here. In this movie, Scorsese did what he couldn't do exactly in Casino, in my opinion. Uh, should it be in the masterpiece? It really depends on the person that speaks. I can imagine that many people could put it here and understand the reasons. I try to be very strict on the movies that I put in the must. It could be here. Let's put it there, and I'll think at the end if it should be there. Raging Bull, there for sure. It should be there. It should be here, I think. No, I mean, yeah, I mean, it was very good. It's for sure it's in the top 10. It probably it's the top 5 for some people. I will put it there. I like the Age of Innocence so much. I'll think of that later. New York, New York. You go. Could be better. Yeah, sorry. It could be better. That's the truth. I liked the idea of a musical from Scorsese. I liked it so much, and it worked to some extent, but it could be better. Shutter Island, very enjoyable, high quality. I think it's better than these movies. Yes. Yeah. Wow, this movie. Maybe it's better. I now that I'm thinking more, maybe it's even better than The Age of Innocence. It was so great movie. Everything was there and everything worked. Should be there. Who's that knocking at my door? As a first project, it was very good. Very good work, very solid. I will not be harsh for this movie. It was the first Scorsese movie, and it should be in the solid category, but in the end of solid category. Goncharov, this movie is the best movie of all time. After Hours, it didn't have many things, but the things that it had, they were amazing. Okay, I understand that maybe it's not a masterpiece, but it's there. It's there. I really like this movie. I cannot forget about this movie. It was very enjoyable and it had something to say, but the things that it had to say, they weren't like they didn't make you not enjoy the movie while absorb it. You could do it. Otherwise, you could just enjoy a very good movie, and I personally admire that. So it should be there. Aviator. Uh, sorry. Should be, in my opinion, could be better. The story was so amazing. The storyline of Hughes. I mean, this story cannot be beaten. It was so great, but it should be there. And last but not least, Goncharov. Okay, let's be honest, people. This movie was good, but the depiction of the story was perfect. The protagonists were very good, but it's a solid movie, and I will put it. Let's put it there. Okay, yeah, I agree with that. But I really want to listen to your opinion about this movie and why, if you liked it more or you didn't like it, what you didn't like, because it's a very controversial movie, especially the last months. Okay, so let's recap. Yeah, I mean, I liked it. I like it. Mean Streets was a masterpiece, in my opinion. Goodfellas is a masterpiece. For many people, I'm not sure. If you're not sure about a movie being a masterpiece, I think you should be in the second category. For me, I think King of Comedy was the second best movie of Scorsese. After Hours is for sure the third one. I liked Goodfellas as a four. Hmm. Let's see. I like the list as it is. Probably this one is the worst one. I think this one should be there. Silence should be around there. Yeah, I mean, I like I like the tier list as it is. I think the only true masterpiece, but from my eyes, it was Mean Streets. Mean Streets was the best movie of Scorsese that I've watched, and from my personal experience while I was watching these movies, the purpose of this video. And I was impressed of how many little details there were inside that I liked. The music, the performances, the small messages that it gave you, and how it was stick in my head what Scorsese was wanting to depict and how good he did it. Um, if I would propose for people that they want to see a very enjoyable movie and very fun movie, for sure they should watch The Departed, and for sure they should watch Shutter Island. These are the classics, but for from some movies that they're not very famous lately, I would say that you could, for some people, they would like After Hours, and maybe they could watch The Color of Money. It was a fun movie that it's not very famous, like in comparison with other movies that Scorsese created. Apart from that, I think all these movies that watch, it's not like you will not get things or you're not having fun, but you can choose other movies of Scorsese to start. Bring Out the Dead, you could also watch. It was very nice. It's not very one of the most popular Scorsese movies, so you can watch it. Um, yeah, I mean, the whole experience watching all these movies, at some point it felt really tedious because they were so long movies. Most of them, like I think almost all of them. But in general, I gained so many things watching the whole all the projects of one specific director that he has a really huge contribution into the cinema, and I'm really glad that I did it. And yeah, probably we'll see you again in the next video with another famous director. Bye.